Welcome to our webinar, What to Expect at Red Raider Orientation. We are excited to have all of you joining us today. My name is Morgan Chavez Brannon with Parent and Family Relations, and joining me today is Zach Manning from Orientation Services. This webinar is part of our Red Raider Family webinar series, where we share information on topics of interest to parents, families, and supporters of our students. We hope this webinar will help you get prepared to attend Red Raider orientation with your students this summer and learn what to bring and what to expect. We will share some information about next steps, but this webinar primarily focuses on attending Red Raider orientation. Don't worry, there are other webinars focusing on topics like financial aid and tuition billing, living on campus, campus safety, and others that are planned throughout the summer. We plan to keep this webinar to about 30 minutes or so. If there is time at the end, we will open it up for questions using the Zoom Q&A feature. In the meantime, please do feel free to type in your questions throughout the presentation. We do have some folks working behind the scenes to answer those for you. We are recording this session and we will be posting it as well as the slides to our website, so you will be able to review it again later and share with others. We will also email the recording link to the email that you used to register for this webinar. So with that in mind, let's begin. Zach, what exactly is Red Raider orientation?
Yeah, thanks, Morgan. One of the things I want to reiterate is that this session is specifically for students and parents and family members that are attending our one-day orientation sessions for primarily transfer students. So I know there's a previous webinar that's on the website there that talks about our two-day sessions that are traditionally for first-year students. But today we're going to talk about those one-day sessions for our transfer students. So orientation is your students' opportunity to come to campus, meet with their academic advisor, register for classes, eat the food, talk to financial aid and business services, and grow more comfortable in their decision to be Red Raiders. We know that majority of these students have already spent time on a 2-year or a 4-year institution campus, so they know what it's like to be a college student, but they don't know what it's like to be a student at Texas Tech. So we do recognize that they had that experience, but we want to make sure that they are ready to succeed here at Texas Tech. And so parents and family members, we really want to encourage you to attend because we know that you are continuing to support those students, and we want to make sure that you are familiar with the resources that we have here on campus so that whenever you go home and your students here, you can continue to support them here. And so a few things we definitely want to recommend that you and or your students are doing prior to Red Raider orientation is removing any holds they might have. A lot of these have to do with immunization records, possibly housing, depending upon how many hours they have transferring in. Also orientation hold, which we'll talk about in a little while. Some of those holds impact their ability to register for classes, so encourage them to take care of those sooner rather than later. Checking their Texas Tech email daily. If they haven't checked it already, please have them do that. There's a lot of information going to them there. And also completing their orientation online modules. Those are available right now in the same system they use to register for orientation, but those have to be removed in order for that academic orientation hold to be removed. So take care of those online modules. There's a lot of valuable information. I'd even recommend that you and your student go through that together if available, just to make sure that you learn about the resources available to us here. Morgan, do you want to speak to the Red Raider Family Network?
Absolutely. So families, you have a little bit of homework before orientation. You should already be in the Red Raider Family Network. That is how you signed up for this webinar today. But I want to also encourage you to complete your registration. You might probably, when you log in, if you haven't completed, there's like a little green box that says complete registration right in the middle of the screen. Just follow those steps, finish your registration in the Red Raider Family Network, because then you are going to start receiving our free monthly newsletter from Parent and Family Relations. You can select different communities to join so that you'll receive customized emailed updates that are based off of your interests and communities that you're interested in, like your student's academic college and other like subgroups. So things like campus life and student involvement and student success. So there's a lot of things for you to receive there. And on top of it, this is where you'll be able to request access to your student records once they're enrolled. So it'll have instructions on how to request a FERPA connection. So we really want to encourage you to get in there and start logging in and engaging with that information. This is a really helpful tool for you to stay connected to updates from the university as well.
Thanks, Morgan. So guests, there is a minimal fee of $10 that we ask our guests because to cover a lot of our programming materials, parking, staffing, and administrative and technology costs. We do have a lot going on during orientation, so there is that fee, and that is non-refundable. So if you're not sure if you're going to be joining your student yet, you can hold off and you can register until the week of your student's orientation.
Some schedule highlights that we really want to encourage you to pay attention to as that family and supporter. We've got check-in beginning at 8:30 a.m. in the Student Union Building, and I will show a map here in just a few minutes so you know kind of where that is. There's parking available for you in the Z3 parking lot. But things that are going to be going on during the day, like right after check-in, your student is going to be able to work on hold removal, getting their photo ID taken for their student ID. And then later on in the day, there's going to be an opportunity for both you and your student to attend some special sessions. One is our Red Raider family supporting your student's transition. This is specifically for our parents and family members and other supporters. So we encourage you to make some time to stop by that. We're going to talk about just some different ways that we know that families can be supportive of student success because our office sees our parents and family members as partners in student success. So we want you to come and attend that. During those sessions, your student can also attend the transfer connection sessions to learn about how they can get involved as a transfer student. As a former transfer student here at Texas Tech, I can tell you that transfer connection was life-changing for me. I became a transfer ambassador. Zach and I have known each other for let's see, 13 years now, I think. So it's been a while, but this is a really great opportunity for your transfer student to get connected to campus. There's also the official orientation welcome as well as college welcomes for you to attend. So don't miss out on those opportunities to hear from campus staff from across campus, get connected, learn those names, identify those resources that your student can reach out to.
Yeah, a few of the other things we're going to do during orientation is make sure that you and your student know about the different resources that you are paying for. There's a number of different offices and departments that are here to support your student. So we'll have that during our campus resource fair. We also know that many of your students are looking to live off campus. So we do have apartments and other housing options set up so you can learn more about where your student is going to be living in the fall. We provide campus tours. If you've never been to campus, it's a big campus. Bring those walking shoes, but a good way to like just get a feel for what's going on and how to navigate campus, as well as individual meetings with student financial aid, student business services, as well as our military and veteran program office. We know that paying for college can be a task, and we want to make sure you know about the resources available to you and your student. Another thing that we'll be taking on later on that day is academic advising and course registration. So your student will be registering for their fall courses at Red Raider orientation. We'll have a brief checkout session to make sure everything's good to go. We want to make sure that you leave confident in your decision to have a Red Raider in the family. And then afterwards, we have some optional tours that are available. Go check out the library. Again, another great resource for our students academically, as well as the rec center, which maintaining that physical and mental health is important. And we want to make sure that they're able to see what they can use whenever they get here in the fall.
So here's that map I mentioned earlier, just kind of a nice little bird's eye view. Most of what you're going to be doing is going to be in the Student Union Building. And then there are two main residence halls that the Z3 parking lot is connected to. So this is one of the ways you'll know that you're in the right spot. We've got Hewlin Clement and Wall Gates, and you can enter into those areas from 19th Street and either Flint or Boston. You can kind of see those cross streets for you on how you get into the parking lot. Watch for signage.
Yeah, and again, parking there in that Wall Gates residence hall is really going to be the closest to our Student Union Building. Please be sure not to park in any other lots. Those are reserved. And you will be receiving an email with instructions on how to register your vehicle. And if you fly in and get a rental car, we can still register your vehicle at the time of your orientation. One thing to note is that ADA parking is permitted across campus with proper license plate or placard. So if you meet that criteria, please note that you can park much closer to the Student Union building or the academic buildings later on in the day. And so for your students, make sure they bring a few things. First is their government issued ID. That's so they'll pick up their student ID. If they don't have a government issued ID, they can, with them at the time of their orientation, the ID office will hold on to their ID and they can pick that up at a later date and time, even close to move-in. And then for course registration, if they have a preferred tablet or laptop that they like to use, be sure to bring that with them. We do have technology available for students, but this is more of a comfort thing for your students to use the technology they're more familiar with. Another thing I would tell students is if they don't have it or they're not haven't had final transcripts sent in, having a copy of their unofficial transcript is helpful when it comes to that academic advising. Just to make sure that your student is advocating for themselves and making sure that they talk to their advisor about what courses they're already getting credit for is something really important to have. But as far as guests go, here's a few things y'all should consider bringing.
Yeah, so thinking about paying for college, any financial documents that you might need if you are planning to speak to financial aid or military and veteran programs. Highly encourage you to wear casual and comfortable clothing and shoes because Texas Tech is a large campus, and there will be some walking around. Very big campus, you can get a good workout in. So meet your step goals, bring that watch with you. You know, keep track of that. You'll feel very accomplished by the end of the day. We also recommend a light jacket or cardigan because different rooms on campus can be a little bit cooler. Definitely be checking the radar. We do always end up with one like rogue rainstorm that hits us over the summer. So keep an eye on that as you are preparing. Might want to consider bringing a rain jacket. I don't necessarily recommend an umbrella because it's West Texas and it's windy. But those are a couple things to consider bringing with you, as well as, and this is good for your student too, is money for additional meals and snacks throughout the day. Again, you'll be walking, you might work up an appetite, you may want a little extra coffee pick me up in the afternoon. So bring that extra money with you. Please note that dining locations on campus are all cashless. So that is something to keep in mind as well.
One thing to note too is that there are certain times where you will be with your student for a vast majority of the time, but there are other times where you might be split up. As Morgan mentioned, we do have a session specifically for parents and family members and other supporters to know how to support their student as Red Raiders, but we also have that transfer connection, so you might be split up. One thing to note too is that students will meet with their advisors, and many of the colleges allow you to meet with the advisor or the college also, but each college does it just a little bit differently, and we do have limitations based on space, but in every situation, you have an opportunity to speak with your student's college and or advisor about what's going on. As you can see, the bill for the tuition and fees for the fall semester is not due at orientation. The tuition and fees bill is due 3 days before the start of classes. So classes start for the fall on August 25th. So that means August 22nd, those bills are due. Students will receive that bill electronically. You're not going to get anything in the mail. There's not going to be an email to you. So students need to be checking their email because that will be coming out in late July. One other thing to note is that maybe you have a student who's considering coming to Red Raider Camp. Definitely recommend it. Red Raider Camp is an excellent opportunity to just spend a little bit more time on campus and become more familiar with history and traditions, get more connected. If they do decide to attend Red Raider orientation and Red Raider Camp, they will have to select a different session type. But if they do, again, further explore campus, make new friends, have fun. And then for you as parent and family member, you're able to explore Lubbock just a little bit more. So there is space still available to register for Red Raider Camp if that's something your student is interested in.
So, some additional just little reminders. If this is a short day, a very fast day, you're going to be getting a lot of information. We really want to encourage you to make sure that you have asked all of your questions before you leave. There's a lot of different opportunities, whether it's, you catch somebody who's working orientation and ask them on a walk to you know, one of the academic colleges for advising, or you find a pro staff while you're doing check-in, wherever it is, there's lots of opportunities for you to meet and talk with people. Make sure that you connect with our staff, parent and family relations. We want we do this for a living. We want to talk to you. So please make sure that you come to our session, connect with us there. If for some reason you're not able to make it to one of the sessions, stop by, check out, and make sure to grab us then. We want to talk to you. Take time to meet some of those other families. You might be surprised which ones are from your hometown, who might be in your student's major when you're sitting at that advising appointment. So make those connections while you're here. We talk about being part of the Red Raider family, and we really mean that from day one. We want you to feel like you are part of the Red Raider family, and that includes asking all of your questions and answering them to the best of our ability, or finding the right person to get you in contact with.
And so again, a few things to just remember. Make sure your student is checking their Texas Tech email address for updates about Red Raider orientation, housing if they're living on campus in the fall. Academic advisors might be reaching out to them, opportunities for involvement, and so much more is being sent to their Texas Tech email address. So please make sure that they are checking their Texas Tech email address. That's the one that would be ending in ttu.edu. That's where they need to be checking, because that's where all official communications from Texas Tech will be sent. Again, checking out that Red Raider Family Network. Morgan said it, and I'm sure she's going to say it again, but there's so many opportunities to get connected and support your student, and that is the way that you are going to know what's going on campus. Morgan and the parent family relations team do a great job communicating different things that are going on campus and around Lubbock, and how you can continue to support them while they're a student here at Texas Tech. So make sure that students are checking their Texas Tech email, and make sure that you are creating an account for the Red Raider Family Network.
So next steps, make sure that you are visiting our website, parent.ttu.edu. Follow us on social media. Our handle is at TTUPFR. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, which is where you'll be able to find the recording of this video later today. I mentioned earlier, like this webinar is focused on orientation specifically, but throughout the summer, we want to continue to support you, because we know as we approach that first day of classes, there are going to be a variety of other questions that come up. So we've got these other webinars available for you throughout the summer about tuition, financial aid and scholarships, campus safety at Texas Tech, academic success, preparing for on-campus living. That's specifically, obviously, if your student is going to be living in one of our on-campus residence halls. We'll talk about finishing touches, so those last little things before your student moves in. And then also there's this great tool that we use on campus called the Raider Success Hub. A lot of families don't really know what it is, so we are going to have a webinar for you to learn about that. Other ways for you to get involved and stay connected. We have Family Weekend this year in October, from October 24th to 26th. And this is a wonderful way for you to come and be involved on campus, be part of a Texas Tech tradition. This event happens to be near and dear to my heart. I will talk about my personal experience any day of the week, but my family came to this when I first transferred to Texas Tech. And at that family weekend, my younger brother was like, I think I'm going to transfer to Texas Tech. And that was the start of just everything for my family being very, very much about the Red Raider family. So very near and dear to my heart. I hope that you have time to come and attend that. If that weekend doesn't work for you for whatever reason, we also have the Family Days calendar on our website. This is something that you can look at, and we just kind of highlight different things that are going on both on campus and in the Lubbock community. So if you just pick a weekend that you're like, we want to come and visit, we want to know what's going on during this time, you can look at that and use it to help kind of plan your visit your way. So please consider signing up for, or not signing up, but visiting the website to look at that calendar as well. Some additional steps, like I said, some of your students may be living on campus. So move-in information. Any student that's going to be living on campus will receive an email from University Student Housing about signing up for a tech-in time slot, because we call it tech-in here. That time slot program will be open to all incoming residents starting on June 3rd. But again, remind your student to be checking their email so that they can see if there are any additional updates. You can visit the housing website for additional information related to move-in. And then Raider Welcome is going to begin August 21st and go through August 31st. So this is kind of that, like, okay, they get moved in. How do they learn about campus? How do they make friends? Like, what's going on? This is the schedule that they can look at to learn about those activities and events and kind of pick and choose what they want to do. I'll do a shameless plug for our office on the very first day of class. We do back to school photos. Yes, it includes the chalkboard sign. So encourage your student to attend that and send you a picture from that event as well. And then, oh,
Oh, I hit that mute button. Um, but thank you, Morgan. So one thing to know is that we know you're going to have more questions after this webinar. You're going to have questions before orientation, during orientation, and after orientation. Please reach out. You can see on our website, we have a lot of information there, www.orientation.ttu.edu. Give us a call, 806-742-2993. Our students and staff are ready to help you out. You can email us, you can follow us on Instagram. However works best for you, please reach out with your questions. We want to make sure that you and your student are ready to go for the fall semester. We know it's a big decision, and we want to make sure that we're here to support you throughout that way.
well, I want to say thank you to Zach and to the orientation services staff who are working behind the scenes to answer questions. If you do have any questions at this time, please use that Q&A feature, and we will be happy to answer those questions for you. One thing I do want to talk about, because I've seen this question a few times, is and this has been throughout, like, preparing for orientation in general, not just in this webinar itself, but we do get a lot of questions about what kind of laptop does my Red Raider need when they come to Texas Tech. So when you're looking at that, we have the IT Help Central website that does have like a recommended technology page dedicated to this, and it's got information about what kind of laptop might be recommended depending on your students' academic pursuits, because different programs have different requirements and specs that they need. So they've got a full list, and they keep that updated, as well as information about potential student savings, free shipping, that kind of thing. So definitely use that. And I believe Brianna might be able to drop that link in the chat so you can access that very easily. I do see a question in here about what are the other webinars that we recommend you attend. I recommend all of them because they're great information. If you are not able to attend in any of these in person, we do record all of these. So still sign up so that you get that email that says, like, here's the recording link and here are the slides. We highly encourage you to do that for any webinars coming up this summer and even moving into the fall, because this is a year-long. We always are doing webinars with our campus partners. So that is the answer on the webinar side. Zach, do you have any other frequently asked questions that you'd like to cover today?
Nothing's come up to mind. I think it is just going into orientation, being ready to soak up that information, and just taking advantage of everything that's available and all the different offices and departments you're able to speak with. Creating those connections, I think for Texas Tech being the size that it is, it still feels very personable, and making sure that your students are prepared to succeed here, and making sure they come to it. Every now and then we'll have some transfer students who are a little upset they have to come to orientation, but take advantage of the opportunity. Today, or their orientation is set aside just for them. It is their opportunity to ask questions, meet with their advisor, take care of everything I need to do prior to classes starting, and enjoy it. Lubbock is a great place to be. Texas Tech is a great place to be. So enjoy your time on campus and go into it with an attitude ready to succeed. It will really help out.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, Zach. We'll keep the chat open or the Q&A feature open for a couple more minutes. But in the meantime, we would like to ask for you to take our survey. Just let us know, how we did, if there are any things that you learned that you really were grateful for, or things that maybe we can improve. We are always looking to improve. As a reminder, you can reach out to us at any point in time between now and orientation and beyond. Our email is parent@ttu.edu, and that reminder for orientation services is orientation@ttu.edu. So if you've got questions leading up to your students' orientation session, please make sure that you are reaching out and getting those questions answered. We want you to be prepared to make the most of your day while you are here. Thank you all again, and we cannot wait to see you at orientation this summer.